You are watching an episode of Inspired on The Faithful Sinners.
Family, welcome back to The Faithful Sinners. My name is Timothy Baker, and today we're talking about something we all use every single day, something we often underestimate, something God takes very seriously, and that is words. What we say matters, what we speak carries weight, and the impact of our words reaches farther than we think. So if you've lived long enough, you already know this. Some of the deepest wounds in your life were not caused by hands. They were caused by the words that were used. A sentence that cut through to you, a label that stuck to you, a comment that followed you for years. And on the flip side, some of the greatest turning points in life also came from words. Someone who told you, I believe in you, or someone who said, you're stronger than you think, or someone who reminded you, God is not done with you yet. Words build, words break, words plant seeds, words leave scars, and every one of us carries that evidence. Scripture doesn't treat speech like background noise. It treats it like power. Proverbs says, life and death are in the power of the tongue. And James says, the tongue is small, but it can set a whole forest on fire. And Jesus says our words reveal what's really in our hearts. God is telling us something very simple. Your mouth is not casual, your words are not neutral, and your speech is not disposable. Every sentence you release is shaping something in you, in others, and in the atmosphere around you. So here's the part we forget. Words don't disappear. They echo. A child grows up hearing, you're difficult, and spends adulthood trying to prove they're lovable. A spouse hears, you always fail, and starts believing that they're incapable. A friend hears, you're dramatic, and stops sharing their pain. Words echo in identity, they echo in memory, and words echo in behavior. And sometimes the echo lasts longer than the moment ever did. But let's go a little bit deeper. Some of the most damaging words in your life didn't come from someone else. They most likely came from you. I always mess things up. No one really wants me, or I'll never change. We preach sermons to ourselves like this every day. And some of them are lies, some of them are wounds, and some of them are actually old voices that we've adopted as our own. But hear me, God never asked you to agree with your insecurity. He asked you to agree with Him. So, this is where hope breaks in. Because while our words, they can definitely wound, God's words heal. While our words, they can limit us, God's words liberate us. And while our words can distort, God's words restore. He calls you beloved, He calls you chosen, He calls you forgiven, and He calls you redeemed. He calls you His, and when His word becomes louder than every other word, your life starts to shift. So what do we do with all of this? We need to speak intentionally. We need to speak truth, speak life, speak grace, and we need to speak with the awareness that our words carry the fingerprints of our heart. And we ask God to purify not just our speech, but the places inside of us that our speech comes from. Because when Christ transforms your heart, your mouth becomes a ministry. So, family, your words will echo somewhere today in your home, in your relationships, or even in your own mind. So, make sure the echo sounds like Jesus. Make sure the echo builds, not breaks. Make sure the echo carries grace, not harm. Speak life, speak truth, speak hope, because your words matter. And the world needs what God has placed in your mouth. This is the Faithful Sinners, where we don't pretend to be perfect. We just try to be better than yesterday and sin better together. Thank you for tuning into this episode of The Faithful Sinners, and get more inspiration on our website, thefaithfulsinners.com.